You're listening to theoutdoorstation.co.uk.
Hallo. Herzlich willkommen in Friedrichshafen.
Hello and welcome to the first in the podcast series recorded at the 2008 Outdoor Show at Friedrichshafen in Germany, Europe's largest gathering of manufacturers, distributors and designers, totally focused on the outdoors industry. If gear, technology and clothing is your thing, then this is the place to be, to see what is being launched or worked on for 2009 release. Rose, I and our European correspondent Roman Ackel spent several days meeting, greeting and chatting with old and new contacts to discover more about the products we will all be seeing on the shelves in the very near future. In this podcast, we focus mainly on new rucksacks. I talk to Tom Entwistle from Osprey regarding the very exciting new Exos sub 1 kilo framed pack, and Roman chats with Wayne Eady from Inov-8 about the further development of their lightweight series. But first, let's hear from Carol McDermott from Lightwave, a company who has been a bit quiet in the UK of late, but he obviously hasn't been sitting back on his laurels, as his stand showed the new Lightwave and Crux products, plus a very interesting line in Crux clothing, where one particular down smock took my eye.
Well, it's just a very lightweight down piece that's really is a product that I designed for myself, as most of these products are. I think down is incomparable for insulation. It's lighter than fleece, it's much more compressible than fleece, and it's much warmer than fleece. So it's an ideal mid-layer piece. It's as simple as that, really.
Yeah. And you've been using it yourself on the rock, as it were?
Well, not on the rock, mostly in the mountains in the winter.
Resting between rocks,
yes,
rather.
Yes.
But it's just, it caught my eye straight away because it's actually just very elegant. It's very simple, no pockets, nothing adventurous about it, but obviously it does the job.
Well, with a mid-layer, generally, as a mid-layer, it's not really an accessible piece of clothing, so I just don't think a pocket's going to improve it. It certainly doesn't help make it warmer or anything like that, and it's not a piece that I would normally wear on its own outside. It's a strict mid-layer, so I just keep it focused on that and have pockets that I would not normally be able to access easily anyway, so they become somewhat superfluous.
It's a stitched-through construction. Could you just tell me the down that's in it, please?
It is Polish 750 full power white down, because it's only a 15 denier fabric on the outside, and even though this is a dark colour, if you have a what's called a mixed colour down, it kind of looks splodgy. So if you use white down, you get a nice solid appearance.
Okay. And how much down is actually in there?
There's 110 grams of down in there. We use Polish down because it's consistently the best quality, and they have also probably the best processing techniques as well.
And what sort of retail price is this going to be?
£120 at retail.
So that's very respectable and obviously very efficient, and is that now available in the Crux range?
No, it'll be available from about October, I hope, October 08.
Lovely, excellent. Let's move on to the Lightwave side of the stand, if we may, and just look at the two new rucksack ranges that you've introduced.
First we have the Fast Pack, which is a single compartment rucksack available in 40 and 50 litre size capacity. They are fixed back length. They have a frame, a very, very lightweight frame that obviously gives the bag a structure, rigidity, and also helps improve load transfer to the hip mount. The features are very basic. It has a lid pocket and side compression straps and stretched side pockets. The construction is predominantly welded seams, but there are a couple of sewn seams which are taped, so it is overall very, very watertight, but it's not a submersible product, because there are in fact the seams where the back panel, the foam back panel is stitched in, is obviously too bulky to tape over. But
in actual use, though, if you would normally use a rain cover, you wouldn't need that.
You wouldn't need to use the rain cover at all for this. The hip belt is very lightweight, quite minimalist. Basically, all our rucksack design is pretty much focused on two basic principles. One, to reduce pressure points, we keep the surface area as maximum as possible, which is contrary to a lot of rucksack design today. And secondly, we also keep the load of the rucksack as close as possible to the back, so the whole effective leverage, etc., is reduced. And again, it's contrary to a lot of contemporary rucksack design where people are more concerned with ventilation and things like that, which personally I feel is completely wrong.
Okay. So features-wise, then we've got the top pocket, we've got the two side pockets, side compression strap, very clean surface on the front here with a couple of ice axe loops, and the shoulder harness and belt again is very, well, I say simple but elegant in a very moulded, very shaped for the chest harness.
Yes, well, again, because the straps are quite thin, to get a really good body contact, you need to have quite a good shape, and it needs to be quite soft so it contours the shape of the body quite well. I also forgot to point out the rucksack only weighs 1.1 kilograms, so it's very light, but we actually carry 10 kilograms, 12 kilograms without too much difficulty.
It's a very elegant pack, and certainly, as you say, for the weight issues of the weight of the pack itself. Yeah. What sort of marketplace? Who do you see using this sort of pack?
Well, this is very much really a winter walking or extended, really person who's doing a weekend trip where they're carrying they have the equipment, like a very lightweight tent or maybe just a bivvy bag, a lightweight sleeping bag, summer, so like a weekend summer or winter day trip.
Well, as somebody pointed out earlier on, actually, I mean, because of the lightweight interest these days, it's probably you're actually physically carrying less anyway and going for more days.
You could take it to extremes, and I used a 40-litre rucksack on a week-long route in the Alps, in the Himalaya actually, but and that's with food, hardware, sleeping bag, the works. So you can pack a lot actually in a 40-litre sack. And
so what size? They're in two sizes and three back sizes?
No, two sizes, 40 litres and 50 litres on the Fastback.
Right.
But they actually have slightly different back lengths. The Fastback 40 is a smaller, shorter back length than the Fastback 50. So there is a bit of, if one sack is a bit too big or small for a potential customer, they could try the other size, even though the nominal capacity of the bag might be different to what they originally wanted.
Okay. And then you've got another range called the Wild Trek range.
Yes. The Wild Trek basically is a trekking equivalent of the Fastpack. It's a larger bag. It's a 55 litres for women, 60 litres for men. It has a base compartment which is completely separate from the rest of the bag, so you can't access it from above. You can only access it from the bottom. But it has the advantage of being completely sealed, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to. And if you do use it, it's a very good place for putting something like a wet tent or something like that, completely separate from the rest of the bag.
And that's accessed through a waterproof zip at the base of the bag?
Water resistant.
Oh, right, sorry. Such terminology. You've got to be careful, haven't you?
Well, it will keep moisture out like rain and stuff like that, but if you were to put the rucksack in a puddle, then water could get through, for sure.
Okay. And so, again, the frame structure, is it the same as the previous?
No, it actually has a full frame as opposed to just aluminium stays. So it's got a full frame that comes round the top of the rucksack back down, so there's a lot less twist in the back itself than what you would get with just ordinary aluminium stays. It also has a reinforced hip belt. By that I mean it has plastic reinforcing to transfer the load much more effectively from the back onto the hip belt. And you can see that just by the way the hip belt sits compared to that on the Fastpack.
Certainly. And I suppose one of the main differences, there isn't any side pockets on these.
No, that's because of the way we've configured the base compartment zip. The side pockets were sat too high, and also from an aesthetic point of view it didn't quite look right. So we put them onto basically what are two sort of stabilising wings that wrap around the outside of the hip belt.
So that is in fact a pocket as well then?
Yes.
Oh, so it's got a Velcro tab in there.
Stretch pocket on the outside, and in fact there's a nice sneaky little security pocket on the inside.
Oh, that's useful. That's useful. Excellent. And again, price point on these and the previous one?
Sterling, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's £85 on the 40 and £99 on the 50.
Right.
£125 on the Wild Track 55W for women's, and £130 on the Wild Track 60.
And once again, the marketplace, the sort of end user you see for these ones?
I see this as being pretty much mainstream trekking, where you do 3 to 4 day trekking, carrying up to 15 kilograms. But it's a rucksack that weighs less than 1.5 kilograms, so it's simple, light, and comfortable.
And have you found the show? Because you seem to be fairly busy as I walk past every time.
Well, this is really our only show, and we don't consider ourselves so much a British brand, we're a very European-oriented brand, so the UK is one of a number of our markets, and the show is very, very busy for us. It's our major piece of commercial business, really.
So you see all our retailers. Pleased with the results?
Oh yes. It's a lot of money for the stand, so I wouldn't come back if it didn't pay its way.
Inov-8 have really made an impact with their 2008 series of lightweight packs, and Roman managed to catch Wayne Eady to discuss some of the future developments for 2009.
So what we've got on the packs is the Race Pro series, which we launched at this show last year. We've now changed and we've gone away from the fluorescent green to a lime green, just so that it fits in more, and we feel that whilst we did the bright fluorescent to give safety awareness, some people that are outdoors perhaps didn't want something as bright. So we've come up with this new colorway, which we've had excellent feedback on it. And the Race Pro series are all the packs and bum bags that are hydration compatible with our unique horizontal hydration system.
So outside of the color, nothing else will change for 2009 for that series then?
No other changes on the Race Pro series. Okay. Sorry, one other change is that we have gone to a new construction on the shoulder straps. We see it's a turned round construction on the inside with the mesh, and that just gives you increased comfort against the shoulders and less chance of any rub. Then if we go on to the Race Elite series, this is a new series that we're launching. These are very, very lightweight packs. Okay. You can feel the weight of them. Yeah. Very minimalistic, so it's just down to giving the minimum of pockets. So we can see we've got a stretch mesh pocket on the one side, a water-resistant pocket on the other, water-resistant zip with this nice contour printing on the Race Elite 15. And we also do 2 20-litre ones and 1 25. And they've just got slightly different features on them and different capacities. But essentially it's about stripping them out completely, going for the lightest weight, but very good stability. So once you've got them on your back, you can really pack them down and you get good stability. You're not getting a lot of excessive bounce on them.
So in terms of load capacity, how much can you put into those and they'll still feel comfortable on your back?
Well, it's down to the literage. So you can get 15 litres in the small one, and then you've got the pockets in addition to that.
No, I mean in terms of kilograms.
In kilograms, to be honest, I don't know the exact figure on kilograms. The packs have been tested quite extensively, and what we're finding is that a lot more people that are doing 2-day events, so whether it's a 2-day mountain marathon or if they're just going outdoors for a couple of days, that they're all going lighter. So all gear is getting lighter. That's with regards to the materials that you're using. Gear is getting more compactable. So people are looking and saying, well, do I actually need to carry a 30-litre pack or even larger than that? They're saying, let's go lighter, let's make it more compact. And this all goes down to the footwear. It's about people are wanting to take the lightest amount of gear with them so they can enjoy their experience a lot more and not have the fatigue of carrying that heavier weight pack or footwear. Okay, so here we've got an example of the 20-litre and then the 25-litre just with the extra pockets on there. Okay. And then in addition, we've got this, which is this is a 3-litre bum bag with a bottle, with a water bottle, with mesh pockets and a water-resistant pocket. So it gives you quite a nice combination for out there. Okay. And we've got the little Race Elite 2, which is just a little bum bag with a mesh pocket and a water-resistant pocket on there. Okay, on the new Race Elite series, we've got the Race Elite 2, which is a very lightweight, compact bum bag, and that weighs 110 grams, and it's a 2-litre capacity. Then we go on to the Race Elite 3, and the Race Elite 3 is a bum bag that has a mesh pocket and a water-resistant pocket on the other side, with a bottle that's angled so you can get easy access when you're walking or running. The capacity is 3 litres and the weight is 279 grams, and that's including a 500 milliliter bottle. Then we go on to the Race Elite 15. Now this is a 15 litre pack, very stripped out, minimalistic. It's got no excessive pockets or anything on it, and it weighs 290 grams, and I think this is probably the lightest pack available in the marketplace. Then we've got 2 20-litre packs, which are the Race Elite 20s, and these weigh 335 grams, so they are very light, and these are an evolution of the old Race Pro 20 that we had last season. And then the final one is the Race Elite 25, which is a 25-litre capacity and only weighs 363 grams. When you think of the capacity, this must be the lightest weight pack for that sort of capacity on the marketplace.
So in terms of future plans, any plans to introduce even bigger packs, addressing long-distance hikers and their needs probably?
Well, at this stage we don't have anything on the drawing board to going anything greater than the 30 litre we have. What sort of literage would you say would be the optimum?
Well, 40, 45, 50 litres.
And do you think people are still looking for packs that size?
Well, probably some people, still like to carry some comfort items that probably don't want to get rid of, and they're probably more bigger in terms of bulk. And even though their weight might not be that big, they still need a bigger pack.
Yes. Absolutely, I think we'll look into that, and we're getting excellent feedback on our existing range of packs. With one of the new Race Pro 30s just being reviewed by one of the top magazines in the UK and getting best lightweight pack, I think there could be a demand for us to look at maybe something that goes to a 40 or 45. So I'll discuss that with the design team.
All right. Thanks. And in terms of availability and pricing for the Race Elite series, when will it hit the shops?
Well, the Race Elite series is actually going to hit the shops in early September. So even though we're launching it now, it's going to be a launch just within 2 months into the marketplace. Price point is going to go from £15 for the lightweight 2-litre bum bag, then £25 for the 3-litre, and £35, £40 and £45 for the 15, 20 and 25.
And finally, moving back to footwear, in terms of your 2009 line, if I understand you correctly, it will basically stay the same with the addition of equivalent models that will fit female feet, right?
Well, that's correct. We've introduced 6 new women's shoes specifically, and then on the men's side, or the unisex fit that we're offering, we've updated all our models with regards to styling and colorways. And with our products, we like to keep continuity in the marketplace and consistency, because once people realize how good our product is, they like to know that they can go back and get virtually the same product, or that it's just evolved slightly. And if you look at it, our shoes hold the Colorado high-speed trail record, the Pacific Crest high-speed trail record, and the Appalachian high-speed trail record, as well as a number of others. Okay, so there's a lot of these high-speed trail records that have been broken wearing Inov-8 products, and we try and keep the consistency there. We don't just change things for the sake of changing it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Wayne, and all success for 2009 then.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Probably the most talked about pack on display at the show was the Exos from Osprey, and you could see all the other manufacturers casually visiting the stand, admiring the design and work involved in the product before wandering off muttering to themselves. Tom Entwistle from Osprey told me more.
Yes, absolutely. It is a new development and innovational development for 2009 spring. Just adding really to our ventilated series of packs we currently have, the Atmos and the Stratus in the range, and it adds to that series of ventilated packs, and has been actually born from the Atmos redevelopment back system. Yeah.
Well, I know I've got a lot of friends that are Atmos users and Stratos users, and they're very, very pleased with the pack and the performance and exactly the comfort value they've got from it.
Right.
So if you were like, you're talking to them through me now, and
yeah.
What's changed, what's new in this particular product?
Well, I think really what's new is kind of the cross-pollination of a proven method of ventilation, which we've redeveloped as well with the Atmos, and with developing fabrics as well in terms of technology. We've kind of wanted to bring out a pack that give somebody a lightweight ventilated a solution to carry whilst trekking, but didn't want to compromise in terms of losing functions and features as well from the pack.
It's got a bit of a fresh look to it compared to the other packs. And obviously, the first thing that immediately strikes me looking at it for the first time is the change of materials.
Yeah.
So what's the predominant material it's made from?
Predominantly, the material on the Exos is 70D by 100D siliconized nylon, and giving that a good seam grip. And it's also got a PU coating as well, so again it holds its seam really well, and that's been taken from the success of actually the Talon and things like that. In terms of durability, I think it's pretty good to kind of think about in terms of metals in cars. Cars have got stronger over the years, even though the metals used have actually got lighter, and I think people now appreciate that technology's moved on. So that's predominantly the material we use on the Exos, and combine that with a lightweight aluminium used in the back system.
It comes in how many different sizes? Three sizes?
Three capacity sizes, yeah. It's a 34, a 46 and a 58, which make up the range, yeah.
So I guess that's the smaller one for the weekend user, up to long distance trekking?
Yeah, I think tying into really its targeted audience of super light people, when they cut the tent pegs in half type scenario of, and drilling holes in titanium sport type people. I think, 34 litres, you definitely get more days out of 34 litre packs nowadays. We recently went to Utah and we were out for 3 nights, and I used a 33 litre pack, and I think people generally now can, I'd say a 58 litre pack easily over a week's use. Quite easily, but I think generally the 46 will kind of uphold the better selling of the packs, just because it is compressible to a smaller, like you said, day pack, overnight pack, and then extendable as well to above 50 litres again, which I think you can easily get 7 days out of.
Yeah, well, absolutely true on what you're saying on the there's less going in these days, less volume, and you're getting more bang for your buck, as it were, as regards to the space.
Absolutely.
So do you want to talk me through the key features on that particular pack then?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, two which we've actually picked up on is the materials, which, as I said, are a lightweight siliconized nylon. And also the back system as well has had a development which is an aluminium peripheral frame with a cross brace that actually maintains the cavity space and tension in the back system. What we wanted to do is kind of fight the disadvantage of some ventilated packs being quite intrusive into the main volume of the pack. Well, what has happened with the Exos development, which is also occurring on the Atmos, is that the cavity space has been reduced from just under 3 inches to around 1.5. So internally now packing is much more efficient, and to maximise the overall ventilation, we've added side slots in the back to give you lateral ventilation, and also the components, so the hip belt and the harness, are actually stretch EVA foam, so that they transfer the load. You get a little bit more movement out of them.
It looks incredibly ventilated, actually, when you look at the back system there with the belt. It's very, very airy. I mean, it looks very light.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it is a super light pack, and just to cover weights, we've mentioned that they are very, very lightweight, and I'd definitely say they're super lightweight. In terms of the 46, it's 857 grams. You have the ability to remove the lid if you still think 857 grams is heavy. The 58 litre is 990 grams. A funny thing somebody mentioned before is it's actually lighter than a litre bottle of water. So for a 60 litre ventilated pack is pretty cool. Right, really looking at the overall type of pack, we didn't want to come out with a super light pack that wasn't featured and structured as well. It's quite easy to come out with a 600 gram pack when it has nothing on it. But really the Exos is something that is featured. It will give the trekker what they need in terms of functionality and features. But again, it will save you a lot of weight.
Certainly, as you're talking there, I'm thinking about some of the packs that I'm aware of, and I'm not sure if I can think of a framed 60 litre pack that's actually under a kilo.
No, well, we did recently a little table in terms of weight comparison between ourselves and other brands, and the Atmos definitely still holds the premium kind of top against normal type ventilated packs and lightweight ventilated packs. But then when we added this into the same table, there was a massive gap between our Atmos 50 being at the top of the table and between this. Like the Atmos 50 is 1,500 grams rounded up. In terms of the comparative size in the Exos, it's nearly half the weight. So I definitely agree with you. It causes a new category for us, and I agree again. I don't think anybody else has that type of pack.
No, well, congratulations once again.
Thanks.
So back to the features of the pack then.
Yeah, well, overall, like I said, we haven't compromised on features and functionality. We actually have V compression on the top and bottom of the pack. The actual bottom V compression can be rethreaded either underneath or over the top of the stretch panels on the bottom, which hold bottles and are easily accessible when you're on the go. We actually have, due to the popularity of it on another pack of ours, combined the Store on the Go feature, which is a feature that you can attach and then access your trekking poles whilst you're walking. It's a very simplistic, and obviously to tie into this pack is a very lightweight method of stowing the poles.
Oh, I see. So just like if you're climbing over a fence or whatever, you want to just tuck them into one side?
Yeah, or you're going up, say, a ridge, or you need to do a bit of scrambling, you need to get rid of that and have 3 points of contact, and you can just stow them, do that, get to the trail again, get them out, carry on walking, and it's a very useful feature.
Yeah.
In terms of pockets and on the pack, the 46 which we have here has a stretch woven nylon pocket on the front. Underneath that is actually an external oversized pocket which is accessed through the lid. There's, as I said before, on either side a stretch mesh pocket for drink bottles and things like that.
Can I just stop you there for a second?
Sure.
That side zip pocket there, the pocket that's beneath the outer one, does that go the full height of the pack?
It does, yeah. It's an oversized pocket, so you can that runs the whole front of the pack.
So you could easily get your waterproofs on the outside to keep them dry, and then that's a good tent and whatever else in there, couldn't it?
Well, actually, I think probably the tent will probably go internal to the main volume of the pack, but things like maybe food or things you might access a little quicker rather than opening the top of the lid to open it up to the elements, I think it'd probably be stored into here. Is a removable and extendable lid, as we said before, which has inside of that a mesh pocket, and then on top again an oversized pocket which are easily big enough for a gloved hand if need be.
Plus the additional tabs, presumably, if you need to put something else on top of that?
Yeah, there's top lash points for anything you need to attach onto the top. We also have lash points on the front as well. Maybe you want to carry a lightweight foam mat as well on the front. And the sleeping pad mats, or as you said before, maybe a lightweight tent or bivvy on the bottom of there, and a single axe loop as well. So if you are trekking in a more mountainous alpine environment, you're still able to carry an axe on the pack as well.
What specifically is different, apart from the weight element and the materials there, between that and the Atmos? What would people notice if they took one off, apart from weight, and put the other one in? Any subtleties at all?
I think that's a very important question, something that's quite important to target. In terms of the Atmos versus the Exos, the Atmos is designed to harbour more weight. Its back system is made out of an alloy material rather than a lightweight aluminium material, so it will hold the weight a little bit better, transfer the weight a little bit better as well. The actual hip belt is slightly different, a more substantial material. So I think that's quite an important thing to raise, because this type of customer is going to be carrying much more lighter weight kit, so it has been designed to carry lighter weight kit in itself. And the materials are a big thing as well. The Exos materials are light, as we've already covered, compared to the Atmos materials. The Atmos uses a 210 twill velocity nylon, and also 160 by 210 shadow check, which overall, really, compared to what we've got on the Exos, is slightly more durable and longer lasting. And I think really in terms of market, the Atmos covers a lightweight ventilated pack, which there are majoritarily more people doing that type of trek, whereas the Exos gives you the more, adventure, sporty, light, super light version of the Atmos.
Yeah, and yes, definitely carrying less is a much better all round, isn't it?
Carrying less is more for some people.
Yes, indeed. Just a couple of questions then. Finally, the back length, is it a fixed back length, or do they come in different sizes?
Yeah, it's not a fixed back length. There's carrying on the tradition of Osprey. We've put the Exos in small, medium and large. We're all different sized people, and either male or female as well. We can definitely benefit from not having generic back sizes, so we can fit a much wider variety of shapes and sizes.
And the last question has to be, what are the price points going to be, and when's it available in the UK?
Yeah, sure. Well, it'll be available, we'll be shipping out to customers from the beginning of January. So I'd probably say mid-January onwards it'll be starting to be available in some retailers. In terms of price point, it is a premium product, and it's I think this type of product is something that makes the outdoor industry a bit cool and exciting. It's that type of product, and it's that type of innovation. It does carry a slightly larger price tag than the Atmos. The 34 is 100 retail. The 46 is 130. and the 58 is 140. So it is, in terms of comparative sizes against the Atmos, slightly more expensive. But you walk into a car garage and you'll pay more expensive for the faster, lighter type car. So I think that's the type of product it is. It's an aspirational product, and people are asking for that type of pack.
And have you had the good response here at Friedrichshafen?
Yeah, before we came here we thought, what type of response will it be, what type of pack will it become in our range, will it become an image pack, kind of a on-the-wall type look at me pack, or will it be a seller? And, I think we wanted it to be a seller, obviously, that's why we're here, but I didn't really expect the type of response, and in terms of forecast, people looking towards stocking it than what we have. So I think it'll become both. It's definitely an image for us, and it's also become a good volume sell as well.
Thanks for joining us in this podcast, and thanks also to Tom, Wayne and Carol for taking a few moments away from their busy schedule. To find out more regarding other podcasts recorded at the show, make sure you return to the Outdoor Station on a regular basis to hear more, or use iTunes to subscribe to the show and never miss out. So until next time, folks, take care and don't forget to get outdoors.
This independent programme is produced and hosted by theoutdoorstation.co.uk.